You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
This is the Daniel Monday Night Community Show on demand through YouTube. Thank you very much for choosing to listen to us through this method. If you'd like to keep up to date with when I add new interviews, then subscribe to this channel. We are going to be talking all about Promenade, a bit of an update with Jeremy and Janice. Firstly, both of you, thank you very much for taking the time out and giving our listeners an update on how things are going.
Nice to be here.
Thank you, Daniel.
So it's now less than a month to Promenade 2014. So is everything organised?
Yes, Daniel. Promenade starts on Wednesday the 17th of September and finishes on Sunday the 21st. Most things are organised. There's just a few things to finalise, really.
So when you visited last time in May, you told me Promenade 2014 is going to commemorate the centenary of the start of the Great War. Can you tell me more about the event that you're putting on?
Yes, Daniel, we have a full programme starting on the Wednesday the 17th of September. The Dockyard Church will be open. There's been some publicity about that recently, and people will be able to go in and see what they're planning for the future. On Thursday the 18th of September, I'm participating with James Apps in readings in a country church in Harty in the afternoon, plus there'll be a talk from Colin, the church warden, on the history of the church, and in the evening there's a concert at Sheernessey's Workingmen's Club with Singshaw and World War I poetry. Bluetown Heritage Centre's got an exhibition on called Barbed Wire Ireland, and that's on sort of continuously. On the 18th of September, they've got a free event, which is the premiere of a documentary made for television, which is called The Wreck, plus a short film called Hello Sunshine, which was filmed here on Sheppey. They're very keen that people book to see that, because when they've had other things about Sheppey, it gets very busy. They also will have the winners of their film project, which is called For the Fallen, which they did with the Royal Engineers Museum and Viola Films, and that's going to be shown on the 20th. On the 19th, they've got a film called Route Irish, which is a Ken Loach film, which is a story about a private security guard in Iraq who's rejected the official explanation of his friend's death. But anyway, I won't go into all of that. And they're also showing the film The Selfish Giant, which is a story about 13-year-olds getting into some scrapes with a scrap metal dealer. And then, say, on the 20th, they'll be showing the award-winning films from The Fallen.
On the Friday the 19th of September at Sheppey Little Theatre, we've got a professional play called My Friend, The Enemy, about the Christmas truce in 1914. And when football was played between the trenches. And on the Sunday, myself and Martin Hawkins, we're going to be giving talks on the ships built at Sheerness. That's my talk, and their role in the First World War. And Martin's going to show photos of the island during the war, which I think both of those hopefully will be fascinating and probably will attract a lot of attention.
That's two for the price of one.
Yeah. Big Fish Arts are involved in a project called Florrie's War that looks at the home front, and that promises to be interesting as well. On Saturday the 20th of September, there's going to be a POWs recruitment parade in the town centre. And in the evening at Barton's Point, there's going to be a themed concert from the UK Paper Silver Band and entertainment from the Big Fish. But during the afternoon, there's going to be an opportunity for kids to get involved with making poppy lanterns, and I think the plan is that they're going to try and float those in the pond later on in the lake later on that evening. So that should be quite spectacular. There's also on the Sunday, the Big Fish are going to organise a twilight graveyard walk at Halfway Cemetery, and that's to visit the war graves, and there'll be poetry there as well. The Minster Gatehouse are going to put on an art display of World War One under the archway. Judy Bradshaw, who's a local artist, she's at the moment putting the finishing touches to the Sheppey History Timeline, which is being launched on the 30th of August. But that will be open for anyone to go and see if they go to the gatehouse. So there's going to be loads of things going on there. And Ken Ingleton, just after Promenade, is going to be doing a talk about what it's like on Sheppey during the First World War on the 24th of September. And again, Julie Bradshaw is going to be reproducing her poppy art installation at Minster Abbey. Last year she had that at the Tower of London. This year it's come to the island, so that's going to be really good. And Joe Eden's also having an artist open house in Warden Bay, and there's going to be a pop-up art exhibition on the Leas as well on the Sunday morning. So there's loads to do and loads to see, and obviously we're hoping that we'll have good weather for the art exhibition at the Leas.
Also, there's going to be an open studio with the Sheppey artists in Scrapsgate Road, so they'll be open as well. So that's more or less all the events.
We are at the moment talking all about this year's Sheppey Promenade. We are continuing to talk to Jeremy and Janice here at the Monday Night Community Show. We're talking to them all about this year's Sheppey Promenade. How can people find out more about the events?
Details are on our website, which is www.sheppeypromenade.org. There's also a Facebook page, and apart from the information here on the local radio, we've put stuff in the local paper. We've printed out thousands of postcards, and there'll be leaflets as well. And we're putting the postcards and leaflets and posters around as many places as we can, like in the libraries and the community centres and what have you.
So this year's Promenade is the 4th year. Has it been easier to organise the festival this year?
Well, it's not getting any easier actually, Daniel. You think it would, but each year brings its own challenges. Finding the money is always difficult because we don't get any support from any of the local businesses. The Hop Festival in Faversham is supported by local businesses, Sheppey and Neem, and their town council, but we don't get any sort of direct funding from Swale Council, though we are supported by some local councillors and by the parish councils. We've been very lucky. Every parish council has given us some support, so that's really, really good. But if there are any businesses out there that would like to help support us for future years, we're really, really happy to take sponsors.
And Rory will be giving out all the useful contact details towards the end of the interview. We are talking all about this year's Sheppey Promenade with Jeremy and Janice. So we are continuing to talk all about this year's Sheppey Promenade right here at BRFM. How can people get involved?
Well, you can come and see a weekend of really good arts theatre, exhibitions, parades and talks. You can come and help us to commemorate something that your ancestors would have been involved in. But if you want to really get hands-on, the Big Fish are having some workshops to make poppy lanterns, including one on the Promenade Saturday in the afternoon at Barton's Point. They're also going to have some costume workshops for those wanting to join the parade on that Saturday. So if you want to come along and be part of the Powers recruitment parade, you can come up and dress up in period costume, and you can march with the rest of the Big Fish through the town. So if you really want to be involved at the heart of it, you can do things like that. Yeah.
So how can people and our listeners get in contact with you?
You can email us on thornton@sminky.fsnet.co.uk. That's thornton@sminky, that's spelt SM for monkey, INKY.fsnet.co.uk. Or you can ring Janice or myself on 01795 873491, or you can ring Chris Reed from the Big Fish on 0777 571 2306.
Well, Jeremy and Janice, I'd like to thank you very much once again for giving us an update on the Promenade Festival this year.
Thank you, Daniel.